Hello, it's John Heaton. Sorry it's been a while since the last video. I've had a request from Dave Costello, my friend Dave Costello, to review Wildlife by Wings. So a few weeks ago I reviewed Wings' last album, and now I'm going to review their first album, which came out December 1971 and was pretty much panned at the time of release by the critics and by the fans, actually, or most of them. But it's one of those albums which has kind of stood the test of time, and it's got a lot of innocence about it and charm, very laid back, and I love most of it, actually. I think this album is probably underrated in the same way that Ram tends to be slightly overrated. I mean, Ram was a great album, and this album isn't quite as good as Ram, but it's nowhere near as bad as some people made it out to be. So, I'll show you the yellow sleeve and the quite interesting sleeve design here, label design, Paul on the front there, and Linda on the back. John accused Paul of copying him, because on the Imagine album had John's face on it and Yoko's face, I think, I'm not sure, but anyway, this was round about the time when they were bickering, John and Paul, in public. Pretty unpleasant stuff. This is the sheet music, slightly different colour to the album. More sun on the sheet music for some reason. Interesting pictures of wildlife throughout the book, and it's got the lyrics as well, which were not included in the album. And on the back, also available, their first album, and then it's got a little blurb here saying that Ram was the first album of Paul McCartney in collaboration with his wife Linda. This makes it a landmark in the history of pop music publishing. A little bit provocative, that, because I know Paul got into problems with Lou Gray for crediting the songs on Ram and on this album to him and Linda, because Lou Gray didn't reckon that Linda could have made much of a contribution, so I don't know. Anyway, to the album. Mumbo, the opener. By the way, this is Paul's new band, formed with Denny Seiwell, who was the drummer from Ram, and Denny Lane, who used to be of the Moody Blues, and his wife Linda on keyboards, and Paul, of course. So it's their debut album, and Mumbo is the opener, and it's a really nice rocky instrumental with some vocals, should we say, not words. Quite amusing, actually, and good one to play loud, really. Good opener to the album. Bip Bop has come in for a bit of stick over the years, because the lyrics are, again, just nonsense, really, but the tune is quite affecting, and it's a nice little pleasant acoustic number. Nothing wrong with it at all. I like it. So the third track is a cover of a song called Love is Strange, and it's done in a reggae style, and it's very, very nice indeed. Good musicianship, good bass playing from Paul. Some of the critics said that this was the only semi-acceptable track on the album, but that's rubbish. Vocals are a little bit over the top, maybe. I think Linda's vocals work on Ram. On this album, on this particular track, that I think they're a little bit overbearing. Wildlife, the title track, is next. Piano-based song. It's not my favourite. It's pretty good. They did this one live on the '73 tour. Quite a good number to do live, I think. It goes on too long, though, has to be said. and a little bit monotonous, really. Side 2 opens with Some People Never Know, which is one of Paul's best ever ballads. It's just great. It's just a brilliant tune, well sung, and on this one Linda's vocals do work really well, the harmonies. I Am Your Singer is actually, Linda shares the lead vocal with Paul, and it's okay. It's better than Cook of the House. Nice little tune, inoffensive. Tomorrow, next track, brilliant, excellent. Again, very innocent, just about going for a picnic and having bread and cheese and hanging around till Monday. Love it. Dear Friend, the last track, is, we think, aimed at John. Or aimed is the wrong word. It's a peace gesture, and a very welcome peace gesture after How Do You Sleep from John on the Imagine album. I think this track was actually originally demoed in the Ram sessions, which would have made it not a reply to How Do You Sleep, but it would have been recorded in that case just after the court case, was around about the time of the court case. So nice to see that reconciliatory gesture from Paul towards John, and shortly after this album came out they did meet up in New York and agreed to stop the bickering. So this back cover is got some blurb on it from Clint Harrigan, who I think is Paul, and a little cartoon there of the band. Anyway, it's not Wings' best album. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 though, because I think it's very charming and it's a perfect summer album for a summer day sitting in the garden. So I might stick it on now, actually. Thanks for watching. See you next time.